Tom Shields.
Cody Smith.
And welcome to the Wall News Podcast. We have somebody we haven't seen in 20 years, but it feels like yesterday. We're just catching up with him off air. Let's do a little bio here for Coach Matt Stefanski. He's a career educator at Wall Township, now in his 30th year. Congrats on that alone. When not in the classroom, Coach Stefanski was a wide receiver coach from 2000 to 2005. Since 2004, he's the head varsity golf coach at Wall High School and was named NJSIAA Golf Coach of the Year in 2023. His program has captured 5 sectional titles in the last 8 years, 2015, 17, 19, 21, and 23, along with 2 state crowns in 21 and 23. That's an extensive resume, Coach. First off, great to see you.
Thanks. This is like back in time with you guys right now.
Going back in time.
What was 2000 was your freshman year, right? My first year at Wall.
That was the first year. You followed us all the way up. You're
Yeah.
pretty much the first coach I saw walking into Wall High School.
Oh God.
Well, you're always bringing the positive energy, and you brought it in here. Except when we shook hands before you were coming out of the bathroom, he goes, "Wow, you guys got old."
He looks exactly the same now. He's
He looks the same, but we got old. We got gray hair.
You got mature. That's it. We're just
There you
catching
go.
up.
We got mature.
I
We're
still have hair
matures.
left, so I'm very happy. So at least till I can get retired. Till I retire, I hope I have hair. But if not, who cares?
That looks great.
Yeah, thank you.
So, yeah, I mean, you're bringing the positive energy. I mean, that's what I remember from you. Still doing that every day in the classroom?
Every day.
What's that? What's behind that? Because I'm a teacher, too. I don't know if we talked about that off air. But
I think the biggest thing behind education, and I try to tell my students this, I try to tell my players, I had a really tough upbringing. Like, not that it was harsh or anything, but my mother worked multiple jobs. My father was not in my life. My brother and sister are much older than I am. And I guess the one calling I had was being a teacher because I really liked and enjoyed what I felt when I did something, right to a student or a player. When they performed and did really well, it made me feel good inside. So, I always fought when I played sports. It was my only avenue out.
right.
My mother said, "You're joining the service or you're getting a full athletic scholarship." That's all there was. That was the only way out. And I try to tell my students that they don't believe me because they don't think like I came. I grew up in Kingsburg, New Jersey. That's up in Monmouth County.
Okay.
It's in this county. The Berg.
Oh, it's in the,
So you
I
know
never
the
heard of
name.
it. It's in Monmouth County.
Oh, yeah. So
Never heard of Belford either.
Oh,
but-
okay. So the Berg.
The Berg.
It's its own entity. If you're a police officer, you know what the Berg is.
So you know the Berg.
I do.
You know
I
the
went
Berg.
to the
Wow.
academy with
Okay.
a Kingsburg guy. So
okay.
heard all
Gotcha.
about the Berg.
There's a different breed.
Okay.
You either get out or you're in prison.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a tough town, but it's a great town. There's great people there.
Yeah, yeah.
But, I got out when I was 12 and went to Brick, and I thought Bricktown was paradise.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough my mom got me out of there, and I went to public school, and I flourished. I really enjoyed public school, and my niche was sports. That was my only maybe acceptance socially.
Mm-hmm.
And for myself, it was my motivation, to be accepted. It was really hard because I was a tall kid. I was like 6'3" in 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've only grown like an inch since 1984. I think I've grown an inch.
But
That's
you've grown with personality in the last 30 years. That's more important, right? Or you always had this personality?
I didn't.
No?
No, I would. That's a great question. Always had it in education
Yeah.
and in coaching. Maybe not so much my personal life.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows I love talking. I just do.
Well, that's why we got you.
Yeah. But, I love telling stories, not necessarily about myself, but just experiences that I had and more so of other people. But, you made that question before with education. There's a feeling when I see a student or a player perform and I see them hit their maximum potential. It's the best feeling in the world. And, my mother didn't have time to say, "I'm proud of you" or anything. She had to work.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make my mother a bad mom. My mom was the best mom. She's my rock. But I didn't have a dad up there. I had a bunch of dads. Everybody's father was my father.
Takes a village to raise a child.
Correct.
Absolutely.
I needed a village. I needed a whole entire state. I was not an easy teenager by no means.
Yeah.
I wasn't anti-establishment. I just, it was hard. It was hard not having a male figure in your life, and you had to find out for yourself. And I think the other reason why I got into education, it's the same way as I am as a father. When I had my sons, I was going to do all the changes. I was going to do the feedings. I stayed home for 4 months that's why I stopped coaching football when my second son was born. I stayed 4 months for maternity leave, so I can get up with him every night, and I can have that energy you talk about with my boys. And now they're 20 and 17, which is crazy.
And that's amazing.
And you remember when Davis was born?
Yes,
He's 20 years old. So,
is he college bound?
yeah, he goes to OCC and he loves it. He's doing communications, and it looks like we're hoping that he wants to get into the union. I have a good friend up there and that works in New York City.
Get a union card, right?
Yeah,
like the Bruce Springsteen song.
Cameraman and all that. So it's a good job. And my other son is in vocational school as well as Southern Regional, and he's doing advanced computer webinar and computer science, computer design, and he'll probably go to the Philadelphia School of the Arts. I hope.
Whoa,
nice.
That's the plan. And they get recruited right out of there for that.
They're both flourishing.
I would say so. They're kind of finding themselves as well.
Right.
I
mean, that age, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard at that age.
At 20 and 17, but it was so important for me. I mean, to give up football, and Cody can tell you the passion I had for that sport.
Oh, I remember. I never played, but I remember just distinctly seeing you on the sidelines 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole crowd could feel your passion.
Yes.
In there. Yeah.
And I was a big stickler on fundamentals.
Yep.
And I was blessed with kids that just gravitated to what I was trying to tell them. I just saw Jeff Bauer the other day. He's the head golf coach at Point Beach.
Oh, good for Jeff.
And I think he's a head
He's
wrestling
coach
as
too,
well.
right?
Phenomenal, like very successful.
Yeah, he's a big wrestling
And
guy.
I said he's one of my favorite players.
Yeah.
Jordan Sofcheck, Robert Donofrio,
Yeah.
Brett
Rocket, Robert Donofrio,
Brett Burke,
Brett Burke,
Matt Maleo, Adam Mancino, all these kids that even the quarterbacks, because I helped a lot out with them as well as the wideouts. I mean, these kids listen. That's why we won a state championship.
Yeah.
And
you notice he didn't say any linemen, though, right?
Yeah, when was your name going to get thrown in there?
that wasn't my department. Although a tight end, it wasn't. That was somebody. That's Coach Galos' his department.
Yep.
I would never infringe on that. But the one thing that I enjoyed with them is the one kids from Wall is that they wanted to win. I mean, they were. And I'd never seen this Manasquan thing before, and we broke their record our first year there. And that was great. But Chris Barnes was an idol growing up in East Kingsburg. I went to St. Catherine's. And when he asked me to leave Brick, that was a very tough thing to leave Warren Wolf, who was my mentor, who gave me everything I
big
had.
name, also
Another
big name.
iconic
Yep.
name.
And I played and coached for him. But Chris was an idol, and I wanted to get out of the umbrella of Brick in my vocation and my profession and not have people know who I was. I wanted to start afresh.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did. The first couple of years was hard to kind of like find your place because you don't want to step over anybody's boundaries. Fortunately enough for me, after football of 2001, Anthony Abil asked me to be who's now the West Belmar principal, asked me if I wanted to be part of the golf program. And I started volunteering and even taking matches over sometimes when Anthony had graduate school. He was going to grad school to finish up to get a principal certificate. And that's how I started getting into it. So
that's awesome. Before we get into golf,
coaching golf anyway.
Well, I gotta ask this because you mentioned Coach Barnes. What was and this is probably a question for later, but I want to ask you now. What was the greatest thing he ever taught you, or something that you saw that you're like, wow, this guy's
He reminded me so much of Coach Wolf.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that these guys are like control freaks. Not necessarily Coach Barnes, but definitely Coach Wolf. Absolutely the antithesis of a control freak. That's your position. You do what's best. If you bring something to me, put it on the board. Let's see if it works. And they will accept what you have. They're not going to be stupid enough not to listen. Coach Barnes says, "Ski, do you," and he let me do me.
Yeah.
And he loved it. And there was things that we did, fundamentally speaking, that you don't think were important when we did them. But in the game, when a kid is told he can't catch a ball, and in the middle of the state championship, and there's a pitcher in the locker room, and that's Robert Donofrio. I remember the year I was coaching Cody freshman year. I was watching JV games. He couldn't catch.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, he can't catch. Track guy can't catch." I said, "No, he can catch. I can make anybody catch." So it was little things that we did, and you see that picture on his fingertips.
The fingertip one. Yeah.
Over
That was
the
a great
head.
catch. Was that 40-yarder?
More than that.
It was more than that,
And
right?
the bad
remember
part is
that
I
catch.
missed it. I was getting a stupid chin
Were you yelling
strap
at somebody?
or something. No, I was getting a chin strap. I think it might have been Robbie Scholl's chin strap that broke
really? Wow.
on a special team play or something, and I got his chin strap fixed.
Wow.
But I look up and I see him running in the end zone. I go, "Oh my God!" So,
Were you guys taping games back then?
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be
Great
somewhere in the
Willie Lesko.
archives.
Was,
Pull it up for you. Or you probably saw the tape after, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But I just saw him run in the end zone. But that was a great win over Middletown South. That was Sean Marino's freshman year. And then he haunted us for the next 3. But that was Barnsley's title. And that was, he left an opportunity. He left a juggernaut when he left Jackson to come to Wall. Yeah. And he did that for his family, for his girls. And I'm glad he did, because it gave me an opportunity to finish out my educational career at Wall. And, it's not that far away. So.
Yeah, I mean, and he was the guy that you wanted to lead your football program. Such a cool customer. If I had to describe Coach Barnes.
Coach Wolf talks about World War II and, getting back to Peggy. He was in the mix, man.
Yeah.
Gets his master's from Columbia. I mean, this guy is the real deal. And then when you see Coach Barnes, who played at Syracuse on a runner-up national championship team,
with Darryl Johnson, with the Moose, right?
And the Moose.
I remember hearing that. Yeah.
I mean, I remember watching him on television and everything, and I remember watching him at Middletown North, how good he was, and he's been in the pit, so you want to be with that guy, and plus his personality, he is literally one of the nicest human beings. He gets mad, but he's one of the nicest human beings.
Yeah, that happens. We all do once in a while, but yeah, I never saw. I mean, I never played football, but I never saw him. Did you see him get mad? I never saw him.
It wasn't often, but when he got mad, you knew.
And he never cursed, and neither did Coach Wolf.
Yes,
ever.
Yep.
Well, that's incredible.
Never
to be in Jersey, to be a football coach, to be any coach and not curse.
Yeah,
not curse. No way. He was a family man. I mean, big guy, and still is. I mean, I see him every day, and I see him in the hallway. I think he's going to be leaving guidance soon and retiring. We always do the Coach Wolf voice. He's like, "Are you getting better?" I'm getting better, Coach. So it's fun.
That's good that he's always checking in on you.
Yeah. He's a good guy. I miss him. I miss coaching Panicu, Carl Perino, Larry McKnight, Mike Gaylor,
I remember
Turpak.
Coach P. Well, I had him as a teacher. Yeah. So and we had a student. And I get it now because I listen to Springsteen. He's retired. Well, yeah, I guess he was a little older then. I mean, it's 20 years ago.
At Jackson, yeah.
And there was a student named Bobby Jean. And every day, Bobby Jean, there's Springsteen doing. We didn't know what he was doing, but now I look back, I go, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, Rob's a good. They're great coaches, better people, great family men, and just impressive human beings around you as an adult. It only can make you better.
That's right.
Do you remember Q time?
Oh, Q time.
You think I'm intense? I talk a lot.
Oh.
This guy doesn't really talk a lot, but when he talks, people listen.
Oh yeah,
it's on another level. When he talked to get us fired up.
This is Panic You.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is there tape on that? I would love to see.
No.
Locker room stuff.
And the wall stays the walls. That's how.
That's true. No, I mean that's a good point.
No, not at all.
So, Coach, so 01, you started helping out with golf, right?
01, I started. That didn't get me into golf. The backbone of golf is a strange story.
We want to hear this because you're a football guy, and then all of a sudden you're a golf guy. So
we don't know much about the golf side.
Yeah.
Well, the golf came in during as a football guy. I was playing. Obviously, I was lucky enough to play at UMass and did really well and played a lot. Had a great career. I'm looking forward to seeing the spring game on the 29th. I'm going up there in April, seeing all my boys.
For you.
And,
excellent.
My best friend is the assistant head coach at UMass currently, and I'm staying at his house with his family that night because we have alumni weekend. So Friday night we're all getting
boys'
together
night.
with
Steak,
that's the boy
beer.
It's going to be everything. So I can only imagine if it's probably going to go into the spring game the next morning.
Couple of cigars.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. But I'm looking forward to seeing him. Unfortunately, most of I saw a bunch of my best friends in May, and one of our teammates passed, and he was laid to rest in his jersey, and it had a humongous impact on me. I drove up and back on the same day to Massachusetts just to see his wake.
Oh wow!
And I had to say goodbye to him, and he was one of my best friends, and it hit me because he got himself in great shape. He was happy. I met his ex-wife, who I knew when they were dating, and she was there with his girlfriend and his 2 girls.
Yeah.
And she remembered me. She's like, "Hi, Matt." And it was like 30 years ago.
Right.
And she knew exactly. And I said, "Sandy, oh my God." And then I bawled my eyes out. Actually, our 2 head coaches that we had in our tenure was there. They showed up. They both lived on the Cape. So they drove 4.5 hours because he lived way out by New York State, but in Massachusetts. Okay. And
what about the Berkshires there, right?
He's in the Berkshires.
Yeah,
exactly.
the Berkshires. Yeah.
Yeah. And he went. They both were there, so it was all of us. It was my class mostly. It wasn't any older guys and the 2 coaches. Our class was pretty tight. The freshmen that came in '90, and still are. And, that had a huge impact on me. But going back in 90, I want to say, the summer 94, I guess, my buddy was caddying at Matitaconk. He was an assistant football high school coach, and he goes, well, why don't you come out there? So I went out there, and I didn't notice, but there was like 15 guys. I wasn't playing golf yet. I wasn't into golf yet.
Yeah.
And it was right. I graduated UMass already. I had one more year to play.
And this is also pre-Tiger Woods. This is when golf was.
Tiger was an amateur. Tiger was
Fuzzy
an amateur.
Zoller and Lee Trevino.
John Daly was the big guy.
Yeah, this is before Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. It really before golf really just sparked up. But Matitaconk was there, and it was owned by the Sambles at that particular time. And the clubhouse that you see that's renowned is beautiful. It was being built. Like the ground was just being broken. It had like a trailer almost. Mm-hmm. So you sat in this little shack. Well, unbeknownst to me, I sat in that shack for 7 days, and there was like 30 guys. So by the end of the week, there was 2 of us. That's it.
Yeah.
And us 2 got out, and I went out for 20 days in a row because I had to go back to UMass.
Right.
So it was great. And back then, I think it was actually pretty good. I think we got 80 a loop, 40 a bag.
Oh, wow. That is good money.
It's not 40 a bag anymore.
No way.
It was really good. So and a good day they give you 100. And most of the time I got $100 bill, which back in college, if I did it 20 times, do the math.
Wow.
So I made a couple grand real fast. And I lifted and worked out, but it was it wasn't a workout, but it was good to walk and be acclimated to the heat because you had camp coming up, and then I'm running and working out, and I had aspirations maybe to get looked at by a couple teams in the league, and I was getting looked at, and so it was a great experience, and that's how I got into golf. So then I wanted to start playing. So we went back up. I remember going back up to UMass. I'm like, I got to get some clubs, and my former brother-in-law had this like Sears kit. It was like made for somebody that was like 5'9".
Where the woods were wooden. No, they
were bad. I mean,
like Ben Hogan.
Oh, the grips were not even. I mean, oh my God, I can't believe I even hit the ball with those. But I remember going out and playing 9 holes for the first time, and I told my players this. I said, I think I shot a 61, and I never swung a club in my life or putted. So it was a par 36. So I was like, well, double bogey, whatever.
Yeah. That's what I shoot now on a front 9. So, that's pretty good.
But that's where I started getting into golf, and then things didn't work out. I had a great senior year. Our team didn't do too well. We were like 6-5, 5-6, and my career was over. And had a couple looks. It didn't work out, and then Coach Wolf called me to teach, and I started teaching May of 1995. And I asked Coach Wolf Jr. was the JV or the varsity assistant. He coached JV at Brick Golf. Yeah. And I started kind of helping out with him. So that's when I started actually coaching golf, and it was fun.
At that point, did you already know how to read greens? Because
I was caddying, and then I got some issues. So if I'm going to do something,
welcome, we all do here.
No,
we have a podcast on a Wednesday night.
Yeah. That's true. But I'm the type of guy that I need to if there's something of interest that I'm going to do, I'm going to go 100% at it, and I'm going to read books. I'm going to find out what do I have to do to be great at this. I don't like not being great at something.
Right. Well,
you gotta do
not good.
Yeah.
I want to be great.
You want to be the best, like perfection.
I'm not a perfectionist.
Okay.
Oh no, if you saw the closets in my house, I'm definitely not that. It looks good aesthetically, but behind it, I got to do some organizing. But that's how I am.
Yeah.
But I want to be the best. I want to be really good at it. So I started teaching myself on this. And then, if you're caddying, it's the same thing as coaching. And if you think about it,
right?
Because you're talking about course management. I'm not saying swing coach. I'm talking coaching, because a caddy is a coach. It's a psychologist. It's everything else. It's a friend. Yeah. It's a companion for 5 hours.
The golf's mental game.
100%. So when to diffuse the situation, guys, especially with money when they're betting and stuff. And that's what I do. I think I'm just good with people. I think. I think they believe in what I'm saying.
Conviction. You have conviction.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, I have conviction. There's no doubt. But Cody can understand.
Not convictions. Conviction.
Yes. No, I'm good about that. But Cody can probably tell you how I coached. And I coached football the same exact way I coach golf. But when I speak with conviction and passion, it's not on the golf course while they're playing. It's kind of like on the bus rides.
Right.
Or it's kind of on a text. or not a text, but whatever, when I bring them in and I'm talking to them one-on-one, or I talk to the team,
And that's what players respect too.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you have that kind of communication back and forth, especially with a coach, it's just that much more in your mind as a kid anyway, that, hey, this guy's going to try and get the best out of me. You know what I mean?
You can talk that. You can say all you can, but there's got to be so many different variables that you have to bring to them. The same in the classroom.
It's that old saying. Yeah, they're not gonna. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Right.
They want to be loved,
yeah,
and they want to be cared for.
Absolutely.
So you can kick them in the backside, but you better put your arm around them on the same day.
Exactly.
And that's where my consistency. I'm the same way with my sons.
And they want accountability. Yep.
Correct. I'm the same way with my sons. I'm the same way with my players. I'm the same exact way with my students. They know it. They'll tell you right now. I got the 14 and 15-year-olds. They're like, there's something wrong with you. You got bipolar. I go, it's not being bipolar. It's being consistent.
Yep.
Right.
Because you get mad at somebody doesn't mean you're angry all the time. They go, how do you just cut it off? I said, it's out. It's over with. There's nothing you can do. You missed a putt from 2 feet. It's out. It's over with. Mm-hmm. There's nothing you can do.
On to the next shot.
We got to go to the next shot. You got to go to the next play, the next problem on the board. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's over. So, going back, I started, at 2000. Well, no, oh my God, spring of '95. I started helping out with the Brick golf program. And then I did that for didn't get paid, just helped out, and it was nice, and I enjoyed it. Not every day, but enjoyed it. And then was caddying full-time in the summer, work on the weekends. At Matitaconk,
Okay,
all the way through this 30th year for Matitaconk, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know you get your own spot now. They got to give you your own spot there. Come on.
No, I know.
Got to hook a brother up.
We have some great caddies there. Guys, a lot of guys that have done a lot of tour work.
Yeah.
Tim Hennessy was on the LPGA Tour.
Okay.
He caddied for Matthias Gromberg on the PGA Tour. Probably the softest, kindest guy you ever want to meet, but knows golf. Let me tell you something. Some of those caddies would be fabulous golf coaches. I'm not saying swing coach. It's a difference. That's a pro.
Yeah.
But golf coach, and you're really like what I do. And how I coach and my approach is a mixture of football and maybe Joe Torre. If you go back to the 95 or 96 Yankees, he came in because Anthony Abiel was very successful.
Yeah.
Powers McLean, he was the all-time winningest coach until I kind of beat him out a couple of years ago. But, we did it in 18 years. I also played a lot more matches. But to be the third coach in the history of a program with Anthony won in 2001 with Joe Tatarski and Kyle McGrady and Jenna Winokur, Tommy Campbell. He graduated with Riley Powers, J.R. Scola. Joe Tatarski was awesome. I mean, that team was lights out. And that was really my first year helping out. So I fortunately got to coach a lot of those kids my first year as head coach.
Yeah.
So, I went to Brick, then I came here and started helping out. And that's how I got into golf and how I got into caddying. And then I played a lot. I started playing a lot. I didn't have kids yet. I liked it a lot, but it probably took time away from even when I was.
When you didn't have kids, I mean, were you doing 2 rounds on a Saturday? Now just 18?
Caddying?
Well, caddying and then going out. Were you going to go out
I
and
would
play
caddy
2 rounds?
and then play a round of golf afterwards.
And
absolutely.
I
was married, so maybe that's why I wasn't married anymore. I don't know. No, it's not that. Obviously, it's a lot more than that. But no, we. I was pretty consumed by it, and then, I love it. I love a sport that even when you are perfect, you're not.
Right.
You're chasing perfection.
It's like an addiction, though. You can keep trying to get better and keep playing the game.
Yeah,
it's a narcotic. I have 4 guys right now. They are glued in. Now we haven't performed yet this year. We will. And
how many weeks are you into the season, Coach?
This was the first full week.
Oh, okay. So
we had 2 matches. We're 4-0 now. That doesn't mean anything. We finished 3rd in the tournament. We just finished 10th today in the Garden State Cup, which we were defending.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're finding ourselves. But that's how I got into golf, and here I am.
So we kind of touched about this before 2001 when you started to take over. Whenever, what was your mindset when you took over the program? Was it football? You wanted to bring a little football into it. I want to be your friend, but also, I'm going to tell you when you mess up, or is it more there?
I had 4 seniors on a team that won like crazy, but they had like a 2-year lull. That was Tommy Campbell, Jenna Winokur, Jaroscola, Riley Powers. We were loaded.
Okay.
And I think we were preseason number 2 in the Shore, top 10 in the state. But again, they didn't win since freshman year. So, and that's not Anthony's fault. They just went into a lull. Anthony was busy. I was kind of like in 2003, the year before that, I was in some matches and stuff, and Anthony was really busy. He had 2 young babies at home. I mean, it was a lot on him, and he knew, he wanted to get into administration. There's a possible job opening at West Belmar, and he got it. Well, when he got it, he went to Tony Vidola, and I guess this is before equal opportunity or whatever, and he says, Matt Stefanski's the coach. He put his time in. So I'm grateful for Anthony for that.
Yeah.
He trusted me. He knew I loved it, and I loved the kids. And that summer, I caddied for Tommy Campbell in the U.S. Junior Am.
Oh, wow.
Down
Really?
in Chevy Chase, Maryland.
Cool.
Yeah, it was cool. So we bonded. We had the hotel, and Dad gave me some money. The Campbell family.
I mean, you had a screen Caddyshack when you're down in Chevy Chase, Maryland. I mean,
right now.
I mean, they had to be.
Honestly, I was exhausted the night before I was out, and I picked Tommy up and met him on the parkway, and we drove to D.C. I couldn't even move, and then we had to do 18-hole practice round, and it was like 110 out. And I had it wasn't an all-nighter, but it was a long night. I was still pretty young then. And we got back to the hotel, and I was out cold snoring because we had 36 holes the next day, and it was going to be 100 degrees. So, his family had to go away for vacation. I said, I wasn't his coach yet, but we bonded. And I think that really, my first year gelled us. I wound up getting Asbury Park Coach of the Year. We won. We didn't win the Wall Invitational, but we won the county. We won the Shore Conference. We went to the States and laid an egg. We just played awful. And that was so disappointing because we were so talented. But Moorestown and Oakcrest and those teams were loaded then. And it was a disappointing year. It was a great year. We were undefeated. We were 20-0, won the division, won the Shore, like I said, Shore Conference Monmouth County. And we went off. They went off as seniors pretty successful. And then, that was my first year. And like I said, Coach of the Year. And then we really went into like 5 years of, just winning the division, 20 wins, and that was about it.
Right.
We never contended in the States. We would maybe get a little third place, Monmouth County, second, but we couldn't touch CBA. We couldn't touch Rumson, St. Rose. We weren't there, and I was getting really frustrated. So I decided to look holistically and how can I surround these kids.
Oh, this is getting good now.
Yeah, this is good. How can I surround these kids and get them better? So I started reaching out to club pros, started calling college coaches, not just any, like Mike Small, Illinois, all these guys. They're phenomenal. What do you do for practice? Call club makers. All right, I got this kid. Club breaks. He can go right to him.
And just real quick, Coach, that's amazing, like leadership advice. No one told you to do that. You just did that. And what's the worst thing they could say? No, they don't get back to you. You reached out to them yourselves to talk to these coaches.
Yeah, well, I
right?
worked at Matitaconk.
Yeah. Oh, so you had to cook up there?
When he done that, I'm like, I'm a caddy at Matitaconk. Well, I work outside services at Matitaconk. I'm a caddy. Caddies are good guys.
That's good guys.
But I always, ask, like, I would even, Brent was at Manasquan, and I would go and ask him, like, what's going on? Like, who can I talk to? And Brent was great, too. And he was the head pro. Now he's the head pro at Matitaconk. But I would find guys, pros, swing coaches. Tom Yeager was great. He had a bunch of kids that we have. I still get people to Tom Yeager, and I just surrounded all these kids with different opportunities. Then I looked into junior tournaments in the summertime. So I would hand sheets out because these kids need to play. And then in the fall, kids started picking up.
You got to trust your swing.
Exactly. And then you have to have a little luck. At the time, most kids were going to CBA that lived in Wall and didn't play wall golf. So I was kind of stuck, what I had. So then a couple, all of a sudden the kid comes out of nowhere. And my best players didn't start golf till 8th grade.
Wow.
Pat Senna didn't play, like, competitive golf until, like, 8th grade.
Really?
Luke Doherty, Greg Mergel.
Are these all the guys now? I know Pat Senna's one of the guys, yeah.
Yeah, Tommy Campbell played junior golf, but Pat really didn't get into it deep. Pat Lacey. Shane Darby started younger. His dad is he's down in Eckerd College now. He's part of the 21 team. I'm trying to think. We're going way back. Mergel's way back there. Alex Campbell. he started getting lessons, and all of a sudden, this kid, he's winning county titles. Christina Hall started junior year. She was part of our program. She wound up getting full scholarship to Mount St. Mary's. She was an excellent player. Wasn't long off the tee, but, man, she can hit a golf ball, and she was really good at putting. But, yeah, again, we're part of that doldrums of not winning, not going to the Tournament of Champions. I watched all these. How do I get there?
Right.
And then 2008, I had like a scratchy senior class. I want to say they weren't bad kids. They were kind of into it and weren't.
Right.
But I had a lot of youngsters like Dan O'Malley, Julian El Abedin. I mean, great kids. I'm trying to think who else was on the team. I just remember how fun it was, and we win and beat like number 2 Princeton in the state by 17 strokes at Running Deer.
Wow.
I
they didn't know it hit them.
No, I told the kids lay up on par 4s and listen, and they were so gullible because they were scared because they really didn't play too much. And I told them like lay up on par 4s and don't go behind the pin. And they listened, and every kid shot like 80 or 81 for 4 scores, and 323 won, and Princeton was 340 or 339.
Wow.
My jaw hit the ground. We're going to the TOC. Mason Wolf, I don't know if you remember Mason. He was part of that crew. All those kids didn't start playing golf till like sophomore year.
And they beat Princeton by 17
Yeah.
strokes. Wow.
And
And
then
those kids were probably born with clubs in their hands over there, right?
2 of those kids are club pros, club professionals right
The
now.
Princeton kids? Or the
No,
Wall kids?
Dan O'Malley and
Okay,
Mason
good.
Wolf.
Yeah.
Out of that group. And that was great. But that was like, someone felt bad for me. I guess the juju came and the golf gods threw me a state sectional because we went to the TOC, finished dead last for over 400, played horrible.
Yeah.
So, and
Well, that's going back to the mental game, right? I mean, that's
no,
no.
It was talent. That was a big stage for them to win the section. Then when they went into the TOC, I mean, all the big wigs there, Bergen Catholics, the Bartons.
Oh, yeah. That's
and
the whole state.
That was like your eyes widening open. Like in football, you're playing Don Bosco Prep back in the day when they were lights out. You're like, whoa, there's D1 players all over the place.
Right,
we were not D1 players.
Right.
But then, I started getting good kids like coming in and started getting into golf, and just they were good listeners. Luke Doherty came in. The Haggertys, I had Benny and Brian Haggerty.
Okay.
Austin Binder was a junior golfer, real short but really good player. Just a great mix. Andrew Hatch, that started in 15. Great group of kids. Robbie Wood, and man, from 2015 to now, it's been pretty hot.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say
It's been really
15,
hot.
17, 19, 21, 23. I want to just go back for a second. You were talking about how you were reaching out to these different coaches. What do they all say holistically? What do they, when you were reaching at them, and you were trying to find, I don't know if you're trying to find yourself as a coach or how to get through to your players, but what did they all say to you? Did they have a common theme?
No, I didn't ask to be a better coach. I knew how to coach.
Well, no, I mean, like, did they give you any advice? I don't know.
No, I asked them for specifics. What do you do for practice?
Right, that's what I meant. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I said, what do you do? How do you mix up? Because playing 9 holes every day gets bored.
Yeah.
They said, do 3 club day. That's great. You only allowed to use
3 clubs
in your bag.
Yeah.
Including the putter.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, it's really good. It's hard, dude. You have to manipulate a 7-iron where you're not used to doing that. It's automatic. And then sometimes you got to put it out of the bunker.
Oof.
You get to pick any 3 clubs you want, but
Right.
that's all you get to use.
Yeah. So what it would be, like a 7-iron, a wedge, and a putter, or what are you going with?
Well, you got to drive the ball too. So
And then you have to have a good 7-iron. right?
yeah. I mean, it's pretty interesting.
What are these kids hitting a 7-iron? These
Well,
200 yards?
At the time, At the time, we had almost a month of preseason. I have a total of like 72 hours of preseason now.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a scrimmage the next day after my first on the range trying out. I brought 2 kids this year. On a Friday, I had a scrimmage, and I don't have an assistant coach, so the other kids had to sit out. Then we had a Saturday qualifying tournament, and then I had a couple kids sick that couldn't even be there. So like we have all of like 8, 9 kids, and I have a couple really nice kids that I think they're going to be really good, but I don't have a preseason to do 3 club day. I introduce because the following Monday I had another scrimmage.
Yeah.
And then we had 2 practices, and then the season started. So it was really hard. We're trying to get it a little bit sooner, like pitchers and catchers do.
Right.
Like again, I'm on a state boards or the state committee, so we put that in. It didn't go through. But with all the other changes, coaches allowed to coach this year, and using the app in terms of scoring. The dynamic in New Jersey golf is so different. But yeah. So anyway, what was that? What were we talking about? 15, the start of the run. Yeah. So I just texted Cody. Put something on. I don't know what he posted. All those kids that I had
always posting
for all these years, Alex Campbell, Luke, and Mergel, and all those guys, all successful, married now, kids. I'm like, oh my God. I sent them a group chat. Oh, nice. And I put that on there. They're like, get the hell out of here. I'm like, yeah, dude. So I still talk to all these kids all the time.
Yeah. I bet they love it too.
Yeah.
We're tight. We're forever. Yeah. I tell my students this in class. I say, guys, once I have you, you're mine forever.
Right.
You don't understand. You can call me anytime. I'm going to take care of you.
What do they tell you when you were right about this? What's this you're always right about? They
ask Cody.
Yeah.
He'll tell you.
What is he right about usually?
Just everything. I'm literally just mesmerized right now. It's taking me back to when I'm 13 years old. Just listen to him talk and coach and just learn. I don't know much about golf, but I'm learning right now.
Yeah, you got to take him out, Coach. I think it's time for Cody to play some golf.
I'm good for like pitch and putt or mini golf. That's about it.
Well, when I'm not coaching, I'm basically caddying when it's warm out, and I just finished up with my second master's a couple years ago.
Oh, congrats! What's it in?
Administrating.
Nice.
I don't think I'm going that route.
No. Mm-hmm. Well, you're 30 years in now. You going to keep going or with teaching?
I'm going.
You're going to go.
Yeah, I'm going until my son's a junior in high school.
Can't stop, won't stop?
No, it's not that. Kind of when he graduates high school, I'll be turn my 55. I'll be 55 that year. I'll reevaluate the situation. Sure. I do aspire possibly to coach in college. Mm-hmm. There's different avenues that might come about. I definitely going to be down in Florida eventually. Don't know when in the winters to caddy.
It's a good choice.
I have some great people down there.
Where would you go usually down in Florida?
I don't go anywhere. I have people that club professionals and stuff through Matita and contacts to go caddy in the wintertime. I'm fortunate enough to have a nice pension, and I did put away money to subsidize me with that. But caddying is a pretty lucrative job now. Sure. I do really well monetarily, and I got some opportunities and open up. Last year caddying on the Corn Ferry at Matita.
That's amazing.
I'm going to do hopefully the same thing this year, I'm going to see. I take it day by day, every day, because if you can't really, you can have direction, and you to bring you where you want to go, but I literally take day by day, and I live by this motto: play every play like it's your last.
I love it.
I'm not talking about football, and I'm not talking about.
You're talking about life.
I'm talking about life.
Yeah,
because I just lost one of my best friends a couple months ago.
Yeah,
if I'm not the greatest that Matt Stefanski can be each day, and people probably think I'm nuts, but I'm not. I smile too much. They freaking hate that. They hate me at school. Why are you so happy? What the heck's what's great about your life? I go, nothing. I don't know. But I really honestly think, I walk around. I'm not saying the teachers. I'm not being specific.
Right.
But I'm not gonna live my life without smiling every day. I'm not, and I'm definitely not.
And it's contagious. It really is.
It's your vibe.
Yep. As the kids say, it's a vibe. We said that last week. It's a vibe.
It's the second week in a row.
I would hate to say this, and obviously people of education are going to hear this, but I looked at my kids the one day. I'm in the same boat they are. I'm a single guy. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean I'm dating all over the place or anything, but I go, guys, you're going to be dating in a couple of years. You're going to walk into a room and go, oh, I don't feel like working today. I don't want to do this. They go, that's not the same. You're excited. I go, absolutely, it's the same. It's the consistency you have to bring every single day you come into the room. They think I'm crazy. I said, how if I did that with a date? You know what she would say? Get out of here. I don't want to date you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You come in and make it make her infectious to you, or him to her. But the relationships and things like that. I like I said before, I want to stay consistent, and it's really important. But that life lesson is big. I live every day like it's my last, because I don't know when it can happen.
That's true.
And I agree.
They laugh at me because I Peloton every night. I'm going to Peloton tonight.
You're Peloton tonight,
dude. I left my house at 5:30 this morning.
I love it. I've been putting in 16-hour days.
As soon as this whole week, but I ran that tournament Monday. I was pretty tired, but I Peloton every single day. I don't miss a day. It might be for 10 minutes. I don't sit down but 3 times. It's changed my life. It changed my whole body structure in 2
They
years.
look great.
I got it.
You're
2 years.
de-aging.
No, there's no de-aging. No. I just drop body fat, and I don't diet. I just watch what I eat. I'll eat, once a day, and then the rest is all like fruits and vegetables and stuff, but and grain bars. But it's really made a difference. I still lift in the weight room.
Oh wow.
I'm still going after it. I had to slow down in September. I was pumping up like 100-pound dumbbells, and I
Toward something?
Yeah, my tricep tendon in my elbow, like the elbow right here. And I said, well, he goes, you got to keep it like 75 dumbbells and do more reps. And
sure.
I'm like, all right. I was doing a lot. So it's funny, but no, it's just, I think working out, positive attitude, always trying to be, always having a smile, being in a good mood. And believe me, I'm not perfect. I do get aggravated. But I think it's really important, because if you're going to be in education, if you're going to be around kids your whole life, you are a role model.
Yeah.
Right.
Cody,
They're looking at you every second.
And they sense it. They know when you're putting up a front, and they know when you're not.
That's a great prelude to what I was just going to say.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
I said, holy cow, here you go. Teenagers can see right through the BS.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Teachers don't want to believe that. Some of my teacher friends don't want to say it. I said, you can tell them things. They're not listening. I watch teachers teach. There's a difference between like giving information and then the students absorbing the information.
Right.
You have to connect with them in order for them to absorb. And these teachers think they're great because they plan. They're phenomenal planners. But they're not listening to you because they don't believe a word. They don't want to be there. You got to bring something to the table. So maybe this kid does this, or that kid does that, or maybe some kid's real good at like being a gamer.
Yeah.
Well, you got
to find their interests.
You got to say something about that. Ooh, and then all of a sudden they're going to listen to you or make fun of yourself. I go, I wish I was good as you in that. Like, I don't think even my colleagues realize what I'm doing. They probably think I'm a fruitcake. I do it
like
for
the Jimmy Buffett song.
Yeah, I do it for a reason, so these kids they'll gravitate to you, and once you have them, you can really teach them a lot, and they'll flourish. They will. And
sure.
It's like
I'm with you. I've been doing it half as long as you, and I think it when you take the time to learn what makes your students tick, and then you invest that time in that, they really appreciate that, and they'll go that extra mile for you. Like, I'm a sneakerhead now. I have Jordans at home because that is a huge talking point with a lot of my students.
Right.
You know,
they can relate with you.
They relate to it. I'm listening to new hip hop artists like Sexy Red because that's the new one. She's the new Nicki Minaj.
I don't know what that is. I mean, I'm gonna be 53. I'm still listening to the Eagles. Like,
hey, they're great too.
I got Train on the other day. The kids are like, "Who the heck is this?" I go, "Guys, don't make fun of me. This is what I do. This is it." Def Leppard, Motley Crue. I mean, that's my stuff. You know? And they're like, "Well, you dress like."
Well, Motley Crue, come on, kickstart your heart.
I just saw them last winter in AC.
How do they sound?
Phenomenal.
They're still sound good.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Is Tommy Lee still going around doing
Tommy Lee did the piano, Home Sweet Home.
Nice.
But I actually have the video of it. I was singing with him, baby.
It's a great song, too.
So,
you got to show us that off air.
Oh, my God.
I love Motley
My voice
Crue.
isn't that great.
Mine either.
Listen, if you come in, well, he's on the piano on that song.
Yeah.
So, but Def Leppard was phenomenal. But you know what's bad? Like, when you're old, when like the singer of Def Leppard used to be a good-looking guy, and now he has the long hair still, but he looks like Grandpa.
Yeah, I know where you're
stuff
going
is
with that.
dropped.
Yeah,
They didn't. They obviously didn't get any facial work done. I mean, they're 75 years old, jamming out,
wearing leather pants.
Oh yeah. So that was kind of funny because I went there with like a sweater vest and loafers on and jeans, and because I dress kind of
like
preppy.
Who's this square?
This
isn't Huey Lewis.
No, some
Def Leppard.
Dude, some girl came up to me and goes, "I like you," and I'm like, "Me? I'm just by myself." She goes, "You own you." I go,
"You own you." I like that.
Meanwhile,
you own you.
she's in stilettos, leather pants, things, vest, everything hanging out. I'm like, whoa, I'm out. And she had eye black like Nikki Sticks. Motley Crue. I'm
Yep,
like,
the bass player.
yeah, that's pretty good. We're gonna go over there. So
Mick Mars still in the band?
No,
Mick Mars?
He's solo now.
No. He wasn't doing too good for a while.
No, health wise, they had a new guitarist. Yeah,
they got a new guy. Yeah, he's older too.
Vince's
I think
voice never changed. My
he
mother
still hits that high note.
My mother goes, their voices never change, Matthew. You know, they never change. She's 100% right. They get old. Like who did I see? God, I saw in the city Barry Manilow. Okay. I saw.
Oh yeah, Copacabana.
Well, listen, Barry got a little. He's old.
He's got to be in his 80s now.
And so he must have had some facial work done because he looks like like the old Muppets when you're on TV with the strings, because the mouth isn't moving, but I mean the face isn't moving, but the mouth.
A lot of Botox maybe too.
Oh yeah, you could see that. But man, his voice did not change, man, and he's still ripping it out there on the piano. So
I saw Paul McCartney a couple of years ago. His voice did change. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you what, fantastic show. Wow. I'm sure Paul. I mean, Beatle, right?
Yeah. He's got to be almost 80.
He's in his 80s now. Oh yeah.
I saw Billy Joel. He still sounds the same. He just
put out
a ton of weight.
Did he really?
He did.
Yeah.
He just put out a new song too.
He put out a new song. Everybody's saying I got to listen to this.
I haven't listened. Well, you remember the name of the song? I haven't listened to it either.
He just put out one song, first in like 20 years, but it's definitely.
It's a name of a person or something, isn't it?
Yes, it's a classic Billy Joel song. Though
that's gonna be his first song in like 30 years. I think the last time he did a song was like "River of Dreams."
Yeah, it's been.
My favorite
you were playing
song?
for UMass last time he came out with a song, probably 93, 92.
I was playing that. Yeah, I was playing that. What was I gonna say? My favorite song. It's kind of weird, but it's Captain Jack. I mean, my go-to is JD. That's my, that's my go-to when I like to enjoy a cocktail. And but
JD with what? The water,
ginger and a lime. That's my.
Okay.
That is my go-to. That's what I will always go to. I love it. And not that I drink a lot. I certainly don't. But I'm 52, going to be 53. I deserve a cocktail.
You got to treat yourself. Yeah, with everything 100%. You're doing. Yeah.
You get tired. I have a jacuzzi at home, and that's what I do at night.
You put the Eagles on when you're in the jacuzzi?
No, I put the AirPods. I didn't even know if the AirPods were charged. The kids were so funny. I go, guys, is this charged? It's green. It's charged.
They know.
Yeah, they know. They know everything. So no, that's my like decompression time, I guess you want to say.
Sure. Yeah.
So
we all need it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm coming off a tough day today.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely.
We were preseason ranked number 2. Mm-hmm. My number 1 is All World. My number 2 is All World.
So who's your number 1? Is it Senna?
That's Pat Senna. Yeah.
And he shot. What did he shoot today?
79, the highest in 2 years.
And that was high. That was high for him. Yeah,
high. It's unheard of. He shoots even par. He just shot 1 under in 30-mile-an-hour winds to win the Wall Invitational the other day. So he had a trouble putting. It's fine. We're not all going to be great every single day.
Right.
Bowden Pepe's our 2, and he is, man, he can play.
Yeah.
Hasn't had it yet. 283s in a row. And when the kid was shooting everything under 80 last year. And Charlie Cormier shot okay today. He shot 78, but again, he had a triple. You can't shoot. You can't have triples.
Yeah.
You can't have doubles. You can have bogeys. Bogeys are fine. And then our 4 and our 5 are learning golf. One's a sophomore, one's a senior. Just came out for the first time to play organized golf. The kid goes out and shoots an 88.
Wow.
In the top 20 tournament in the state.
Are these kids watching like YouTube clips, or are they just learning on the fly?
Just listening.
Yeah.
I mean,
listening to you.
Jake Patillo,
are you breaking down swings, or if they got?
I'm not a swing coach.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I'm breaking down how to play golf.
Yeah.
Go to point A, to point B, to point C. So even with Chase, he's a little bit more advanced than Jake. Jake's brand new, but Chase, and he knows how to score. He's just there's fine tuning that has to be done.
Okay.
I don't have to say anything to Bo. Bo knows. Bo's upset.
Yeah.
So I leave Bowden alone. I don't even talk to him. Chuck, I used to beat up as a sophomore mentally. I don't say anything to Chuck because I don't have to. They're seniors. It's their program.
Right.
Same thing with Pat. I don't say anything to him. Mm-hmm. It's their program. It ain't mine. It's theirs. Own it. Chase, I do. I have to get them ready for the 3 of them when we all click, because when we all click, we'll be pretty good. But you're coming off a year, you're winning 6 tournaments.
Yeah.
Rings, everything.
Did you see these rings that they got?
No, I was. Do we have them here?
I'll show
you.
You
have them here,
after.
Coach? Or you show me. After?
I showed him a picture of them, but we had two huge. I should have put them on. I wasn't really thinking ring when we finished 10th out of 20 teams today, but
right. No, yeah, understandable.
it's still everything's in front of us. Still, we still have
Yeah.
2 more tournaments before the counties even start. So we'll have 4 tournaments in before that. We would have had a 5th, but it was moved to the end of April. So our schedule's super competitive. And even today, I don't know if they expected me to be mad afterwards. I wasn't. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what are you doing right now? Right. Like, I sat in the back of the bus with them. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
It was time to be pal. It wasn't time to be.
No, yeah, it's early in the season, right?
It was not time to get on them.
Right.
It was more so make fun of them a little bit.
Loosen them up.
Yeah, I was doing my theatrics. I was going over everything I did with.
Were you doing impressions?
100%.
Did you do your did you do your Motley Crue impression?
No. It was more like
Neil?
I wanted to make an impact on them where it was an impressionable enough for them to think about and be motivated.
Right.
You know, our results aren't good, but you know, after the Wall Invitational, they were so disappointed. They went and played 9 holes and went to the range. This is after being in 5.5 hours of freezing cold temps, going out and playing another 9 holes, and then hit the range. So they were kind of, and then we had a great match yesterday against Homedale, who's dynamite. We shoot what do we shoot as a team? 6 over as a team at Jumping Brook. Beat them by 5, beat Point Barrow by 20, and we were feeling good about ourselves coming in today, and it's a learning curve. Yeah. Alex Menges isn't here. He was really good. He's playing at Monmouth University. Pat's going to Monmouth University next year.
Next man up.
Next man up,
right?
It's easier said than done.
Yeah, sure.
Until you're put in it. Instead of a 4.
Listen, I shoot like a 105 every time I go up, so I can only imagine. These kids are in high school.
Yeah, it's
shooting
wild.
sub 80 rounds, shooting par. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, think about that for a second.
We should set it up one day.
Listen, I caddy for guys in our club. I mean, our club's really hard to break par.
Yeah.
But you shoot 75, 74, 76 at our club at Matitaconk National, you are a player. I mean, you're talking about
baller.
150-something slope. I mean, I walk it, and it's 8 miles, 1 loop. And it's hot. It's in the furnace of New Jersey, right by Great Adventure.
Yeah.
And it is hot. And there's big hills out there. So you're burning 5,000 calories a loop. I do 2 sometimes in the summer.
Wow.
Heat index is 100.
And then you do the Peloton?
I do.
Look at you.
After
I love
that.
it.
And then I go surfing after that.
Oh, really?
And I lift in the morning before I go.
I love it.
Jeez.
I love it, Coach.
Really?
I mean, that's what I said at the beginning of the program when he came on. Positive energy.
As soon as you walk through the
can't
door.
stop, won't stop.
I sleep 8 hours every night.
you still figure the 8. So 16 and 8. That's your.
When my head hits the pillow, it's
You're
less
out.
than a minute. I'm out.
Wow. Well, that's when you know you had a good day. When you're not twisting and turning, thinking about anything.
I don't twist and turn.
Yeah.
I go to bed exhausted.
That's great.
Then I wake up fired up.
That's it, baby. I
love
it. No coffee? Do you drink coffee in the morning?
Just 1 cup.
1 cup?
Every day, 24 ounce. Just 1. I had 2 today. Maybe that was my downfall. I don't know. Yeah. So it's but it's interesting. I'm kind of bummed right now, but I'm kind of excited talking to you guys. But there's I don't know. I think last year was so humbling that everything was like the culmination of an incredible run. And I know these 3 boys, these 3 seniors, and Chase too, even though he's young. They want that ring because this would be 3 and 4 years. And one person brought those rings to us, and that was the kid that shot 79. It's Pat Sena.
Right.
You know, there was a big article in the press. And, and
saw that.
That was me.
Yep.
I said he's a once-in-a-generational
player.
You know, we didn't win. I never won a group until Pat Sena was there. And he won the state sectional as a freshman. And he was like 130 pounds. I'm like, Coach Gee, I think I won. He's like this little. He gets mad at me. Now he's jacked with muscles and stuff.
Senior now, yeah.
And it's his senior year, and I'm just looking. I mean, after the Wall Invitational, he was fired up. He was bummed today, because you know the greens weren't great for him. I say that's excuses.
Yeah,
you know, you're playing. You're not. You got to play golf course. You can't play golf. You got to play golf course. It dictates to you.
Sure.
You got to control what you can control. That's it. And he's an advanced enough player. You know, he knows what I'm talking about. He respects what I say. But he was bummed. Bowden was bummed. Charlie was kind of happy, but bummed that our team stunk. But he was happy because he made a triple and still finished in the mid-70s. Chase is finding himself. So again, I'm kind of like in the moment kind of thing.
Yeah.
Venting to you two in a
That's
podcast.
Great. It's great copy
we're here for.
Yeah.
But we're off for like 10 days, no golf.
Okay.
wow.
We're gonna go practice
Spring break.
round in South. Yeah, we're gonna go down in where we have the state sectional next week, and we're gonna spend.
Where's that?
It's Twisted Dune. It's in Egg Harbor.
Egg Harbor. Okay.
Yeah, it's.
Do you guys have a home course around here? Or
Jumping Brook.
It is Jumping Brook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jumping Brook. We really don't play a lot of home matches this year. So
Yeah.
we use Spring Meadow in the preseason, but
Sure.
we won't be back there the rest of the year.
Wow.
So we don't have any more matches there.
Anybody can come to a match? Like Cody, I showed up.
No.
Nope. It's
Well,
closed.
you're media, so
yeah. Can we get a pass? No, because I would love to
told you
see.
we were
I would love
working
to
on
see
it.
this team. I mean, the way you talk about them.
You can come to a match, but you
Yeah.
have to come either before it or after.
Oh, so we can't even watch.
No, there's no
Oh.
spectators.
Wow, I
Yeah,
didn't know
not
that.
in high school golf.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's wild.
No, but before the match, you can come and see, and you can watch them tee off, and you can watch them from a distance, like
Yeah.
from the clubhouse. But you can't go on the grounds when we're playing.
Wow.
Yeah,
What if we fly a drone over there? Can we do that?
We get away with
Live
that.
stream it.
if it's quiet, you probably could, but then it'll be a distraction. But no, if you really wanted to do like an interview or something and just say, you know, how you doing or whatever, or even if you came to the Monmouth counties or the Shore Conference.
Yeah, like the tournaments. Can you?
Yeah, there's
the tournaments
there's
are
press
open.
everywhere.
Yeah.
There's no fans.
Oh, no fans even for the tournaments.
No.
Wow.
If there's parents that come, they're in the clubhouse.
Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? Because
It's a great thing.
It's a great thing.
No,
Yeah.
too many roosters in the hen house.
I
Not with
gotcha.
golf.
Yeah.
Leave my kids alone.
Okay.
Do not talk to them. There's times I had to tell parents, they're mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Take a step
If you
back.
want them playing in this program, they're mine. So you can say what you want when they're not mine. When not mine when they're out of school or at home. But no, they're mine, and I have to say it because it's not me, it's not I, it's TEAM.
Right.
Amen. Amen.
I think right now we're having a problem ourselves currently in 2024.
Yeah.
in defining what that's about.
Yeah, for sure.
They're not I kids; they are team kids. But I think right now we're not looking at one another, and that's what we did last year for sure. We were excited, and the results were different. Like I said, it's like finding yourself. It's like a kid in algebra,
Right.
that can't do it, can't do quadratic. Just it doesn't click. So what do?
Right.
Doesn't click. You got to start drawing stuff up. I mean, you got to get them into it and you got to find something that they can, one thing in quadratics that they'll always remember, whether it's like x-intercepts or knowing that factoring, you got to know all your factors of the C term in order to find the adding up to the B term. It's like all these little nuances. You got to find something that's going to click with them and stay with them,
Sure.
So
Still an early season. Well, we're going to do our reads now, and then we got a rapid fire question for you if you're cool with that, Coach. All right. I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whether you're heading to the airport, a business meeting, or a night out on the town, TRC Transport has you covered with our fleet of stylish vehicles and professional drivers. Call or text 732-567-8284 today. That's 732-567-8284. TRC Transport, delivering your most precious cargo. I actually might be calling TRC.
Yeah.
Might
give
need
him
a ride
shout.
back to from Florida. So
Absolutely.
we'll see.
He's in Florida himself right now.
Oh, is he?
Experience the difference with Mighty Ducks Dryer and Vent Cleaning. Meet Chris and Chase Jacobs, the dynamic duo behind Mighty Ducks. With our expert service, your dryer and vents will be cleaner and safer than ever before. Say goodbye to lint buildup and hello to improved efficiency. Trust Chris and Chase to keep your home safe and your appliances running smoothly. Contact Mighty Ducks Dryer and Vent Cleaning today for quality service you can rely on. Your satisfaction is our mission. Call or text 732-925-1778 to make an appointment.
All right, Coach, we got a couple more for you. This is a segment we call Rapid Fire. Cody's going to do it this week, and it's golf-related. So we know
this is good.
So this was a question from someone online. Kathleen D. Giovanni asked, what do you recommend young golfers do to get ready for team play in high school?
For team play in high school, first I would definitely look for junior clinics. They're big. Once you get a junior clinic, mostly it's ran. I know Dan O'Malley runs them at a Fairway Muse.
Okay.
I would venture to say Tom Yeager would out of Spring Meadow. I would go to like a PGA instructor.
Okay.
See if there's clinics, and if there's not clinics, get some lessons. And then when you get the lessons, and you can start swinging on their own a little bit, maybe even throw an email out to the high school coach, even though you might be in 6th grade or 5th grade, and just say, hey, my son's playing 5th or 6th grade. Is there any junior tournaments? Okay. And there's tons. I mean, they're money makers, but just to get that tournament experience, you might shoot 120. It doesn't matter. It's a process.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you start doing more and more, you get to, but that's what I would suggest. Look for junior clinics, and if you can't find any, go to any, especially private courses, but they're going to be a lot more expensive. But, you know, like locally here, Tom Yeager at a Spring Meadow, Dan O'Malley at a Fairway Muse. You contact both of them, they will put you in the direction to get started.
All right.
What's your recommendation for old golfers, guys that are like 39 years old, trying to get their game together?
Tom Yeager and Dan O'Malley.
Okay, same guys. It's the same guys. All right, good.
Yeah.
I'm writing this down right now.
They're the two guys up here in Wall. I'm you know, this is a Wall podcast. So obviously I have other guys I know in South Jersey, North Jersey. But yeah, that would be that you got I both of those guys know what they're doing. One's my former player. So you know, and even if you went to Spring Lake or anything like that, I know it's private, but most professionals, even if you call them, they'll lead you to the right person.
Favorite county course?
Well, I live in Ocean County down by LBI. Favorite county course, Howe Park.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a brute. It's a great course. Unfortunately, we're not playing in Monmouth County there. She got moved to Charleston North.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm kind of bummed about that. I like Howe Park.
Yeah.
All right, let's branch out a little bit. How about in the state?
Obviously, Matiticonk. I have one now. I played it in February with Ed Riddy, the Ocean City golf head coach. Great guy. Caddy's at a place called the Union League. All right. It's down in Cape May. It used to be Sam Barron's. The Union League out of Philadelphia bought it. They have 27 holes. There used to be about 10 or 15 acres of water.
Okay.
There's now over 150 acres of water. And how they built these ponds out, and this is the story. I mean, this course is incredible. You got to look it up online. And it's really hard. And when it's windy, it's really, really hard because there's no trees on it. So everything they dug out the ponds, the EPA said, that's great. You can put all the water you want, all the hazards you want. You can do it. But the sand stays here. So they built mountains in Cape May.
Of sand.
Of dirt.
Of dirt.
Huge mountains. I'm talking 200-300 feet in the air mountains.
No way.
Huge.
Wow.
I mean, huge. And you got to see the topography of this place. This is in Cape May, and it's mountainous.
Yeah. Coastal lowlands, and then now it's the mountains.
Oh, man, it's so cool. It's kind of in the woods, but it is the hardest golf course I've ever played. And it matches up to Pine Valley. But that is my favorite next to Matiticonk. Matiticonk, I've been there for 30 years. That place is a monster.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw the Corn Ferry guys tear it up because it was soft. It was raining. If it's not hard and fast, it's easy. But Union League is awesome, and I had a great round that day. I shot 75. I had 6 birdies. I birdied 4 in a row.
Good for you.
Yeah, and I don't play a lot of golf. I really don't. It clicked. I had that day. Some days you have it. You know, I just played Jumper Brook yesterday.
I have to ask, what's your mindset when you shoot a 75? Is it just on to the next shot? I mean, what are you thinking?
That
anything?
day, I tripled the last hole with a shank on a par 3 into the water. It came out of nowhere. And then the next one I dubbed and got it up by the green and then 3-jacked it for triple. It was triple bogey on a par 3 that's easy, and I was striping my irons. Wow. It just happens.
It just squirted out that last one.
Yeah, God said no. That's what they said.
You're going to end with a 75, which is amazing.
Nah. It was just luck. I was just in the.
In the zone.
Putter was unconscious. I was hitting the ball great. I was so mad.
You're just going up and down one putts, not even 2 putting at that point. Wow.
4 birdies in a row. I've never birdied 4 holes in a row.
Yeah.
And then I added a couple more. And I was just hitting the ball really well. I was happy. I just played Jumper Brook yesterday. I was 8 over after 5 holes. I had a triple, a couple double. I was exhausted from running the tournament.
Yeah.
And my body started loosening up, and I went even par the last 4, so I was pretty happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's there. I was just tired. So I'm not young, you know.
Even though you look it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Going to those Motley Crue concerts.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite golfer of all time?
Payne Stewart.
Oh, that.
It ain't even close.
Wow.
John Daly's 1A. Payne Stewart.
That's what I was going to guess. I was going to guess John Daly.
If you read his books, if you knew Payne Stewart, there's a lot of Matt Stefanski and Payne Stewart, or is Payne Stewart and Matt Stefanski, but he was not an easy person to deal with that when he started on the tour at all. He's paying a butt. I was paying a butt. You talk to high school coaches that had me, they didn't like me. I was paying a butt. So I was not an easy teenager.
Did Payne Stewart, did he have an autobiography? Is that what you're talking about? Or
I think he made it. He passed away in 99 in the
somebody
plane.
else, somebody else wrote it for him, and it was a good book.
I believe so. Something about him, and I liked him. He just gutted everything out. It just reminded me of myself. He is by far my favorite. John Daly's my second.
Yeah.
But Payne Stewart, yeah.
Payne Stewart, 92, what is it, the Ryder Cup? War of the Shore? Kiowa?
He was in there. Yeah.
He was. I heard he was one of the hearts and soul of that team.
He was heart and soul of everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, he was loved. I mean, and he was a fierce competitor. Like, when he lost in 98 at Olympic, because the greens were out of control, lost to Lee Janzen. Should have won. Oh, my God. And then he wins in 99 and makes a putt over Phil Mickelson.
That's the famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one. Because he lost the year before, he lost on a lip out. So, and that's what he said to his wife, Tracy. He goes, I kept my head down, baby. I kept my head down. And I say that to my kids all the time. Keep your head down. It's just something so you make good contact. You don't want to look up because the left shoulder comes up. It's an instant reaction this way. You got to keep it down and through the ball. Mm-hmm. And he said, I kept my head down, and he made it. So, I don't know. He's my guy. I never got to – well, I worked at Augusta in 98, 99, but I was next to him, but I didn't get to meet him. So I met John Daly. I've been with John. Wow. I hung out with John. He's cool. We had a good time.
Anything he'd tell us on air?
No.
I guess off air.
My man.
Right?
John Daly.
My man, there had to be 40 cases of Miller Lite outside his thing. I'm not kidding. 40 cases. He was parked at Augusta that year in his Winnebago right in the parking lot and hooked up right into the thing. That's where he lived for the week.
Wow.
He's a little different.
God bless John
Last
Daly.
two for you. Greatest golf movie of all time? There's plenty to pick from there.
I got two.
Mine's The Caddy from the early 50s with Dean Martin.
I got to check out this movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
And Jerry Lewis. It's a classic.
The greatest game ever when
we were talking about that off air. Shia LaBeouf.
That
is a good one. That was based on a true story, right?
Francis Winnett from Boston.
He was an amateur.
Yeah, he lived on the golf course. He lived at the country club. It was really good. Harry Vardon was his idol.
Harry Vardon
was his idol, and he played against him. He was a young kid. And
Vardon grip.
Had Eddie, the small kid. And, they wound up being millionaires. Eddie was a millionaire, and so was Francis.
Really?
They ended up millionaires.
Wow.
Yeah. They and not millionaires. That was like 1910.
Yeah, it's like billionaires today. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So they were very successful businessmen and best friends for the rest of their lives. In fact, Francis Winnett is like one of the best amateur golfers next to Bobby Jones that there ever was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to go back to one other guy. I read several biographies. Probably helped me out with golf a lot, and that was Ben Hogan.
Yeah.
Okay.
He comes from the other side of the tracks, like me. I like that. He was the one that slept in the bunkers at night with paper over him, and came from the caddy yards and became great. Got hit by a bus and still won with a busted hip. I mean, that's my kind of guy.
Don't make guys like that anymore. No way.
They do. They do. I see a couple guys out there. I mean, I obviously seen the NFL and guys that were my coaches or I played with who are coaches now in the NFL and major college football. They're there. They're around. There's still even kids today. It's just
it's a dying breed.
We're on a podcast in Wall right now. This is 20 years ago. This isn't around. You know what I'm saying? This is part of social media.
Right.
True. Truth.
I think that has a lot to do with it.
Sure.
You're kind of scrutinizing certain things. I mean, God forbid if we had cameras in the classroom, I would have been long gone.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I follow the rules, but no, it's a rare breed. Yeah. I just think those. I think things are given way too easy.
Yeah.
And not earned.
Sure.
But I'm not saying everybody. I don't want someone coming on your podcast.
No.
Stefanski's a jerk. Why do you say that? No, just
It's true.
nothing was ever given to me. Nothing. Not that I have a lot, but I'm not angry, and I'm not unhappy. So I love what I do, and when I say I love what I do, no matter the outcome. So, go ahead, ask your last one.
Last one for you. The best golf brand equipment is
Titleist.
Oh yeah.
Not even close.
wow. What else you got?
Wait, I got a couple more.
You got more?
Favorite golf story? One you heard or one you were involved in?
Okay, I got one.
Oh yes.
Down in Augusta National, working in 1999, I'm talking to a bunch of guys. So Arnold Palmer's walking by, and I had a pager. My job was I worked for Display Screen Jacket Sports. So we would drive players, or we would drive businessmen, and they did their thing, and I would get paged, and I would have to drive them wherever they want to go. So I remember I guess we were sitting out at a bar. They wanted to go to a bar, and they're talking, and the guy played Augusta 2 or 3 times that I was with. He's a business guy. So we were at the Masters coming in, and he goes, I was down at the clubhouse, and one of these member guests came over, and they saw all the old guys playing cards with quarters, nickels, and dimes. So this guy thought he was worth he probably had 20, 30 in the bank. All right, so these other guys are playing with quarter, nickels, and dimes. All right, and they're in the not the pro shop, in the clubhouse, but they have where the members are, in the member area. And you always see poker tables there, so they're playing and they're big time, and quarters, nickels, and dimes. So the guy's like, "Oh, what is this crap?" Pulls out some money, and the guy was telling me the story. Pulls out a couple, like wad of hundreds, just full and thick. And he goes, "Oh, we play quarters, nickels, and dimes here, sir. We don't play for big money." He goes, "Oh, what kind of country, what kind of place is this?" This is at Augusta National, mind you. So,
I wouldn't have said that. I don't care how much money I had. I would have never said it to anybody at Augusta.
When you think you have it, and you're put in your place real quick. So anyway, prelude to what the answer is going to be. So the guy goes, "Sir, how much you worth?" He goes, "Well, give me a number. How much you worth?" "What do you mean I'm worth?" And he goes, "How much are you worth?" He goes, "How much money do I have? How much, equity, anything?" He goes, "Yes. In totality, how much are you worth?" He goes, $35 million. He goes, "Pick a card, I'll flip you for it." That's the quarter, nickel, dime guys playing. Wow. $35 million, pick a card, we'll flip. The guy never said a word again. In fact, from what I understand, he was never invited back.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Once you raise your mouth, because you can't run there.
First of all, you don't talk to those people unless you were spoken to.
Yeah.
Everybody says, "Oh, the country club," but no, you got to know your place.
Yeah,
you do. You have to know your place.
How are those pimento cheese sandwiches?
They're still like a buck.
Yeah,
I haven't been back there since 99, 98, but they told me like the beers are $1. Wow, they're still at that price.
That's amazing.
So I used to go and get I don't want to say beers online, but I used to get a whole bunch of this. But you get the sandwiches. That's what, for $10, you get like 9 beers and a pimento sandwich. So
you just need the pimento sandwich to coat your stomach.
I remember I fell asleep underneath the 6 tee because I was so tired. We were up all night driving these guys around and stuff. And then during the day, we can go to the tournament. I fell asleep on it. Wow. So, and I remember coming home in '99. It was 91 degrees in Augusta, and we flew into Newark, and it was snowing. Oh, God. Oh.
Welcome back to Jersey.
Yeah, I was tired. Yeah.
Heaven on earth to Newark.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Well, you have more? Let's see.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, unless you got a favorite golf joke. That'll be the last one. Favorite golf joke? No.
I might make people laugh, but I'm not like a comedian in terms of, like, I always tell people this. Listen, I am far from the smartest person in the room. I am most likely the dumbest. My intellect is not very high, but I work, as I said, to do well and perfect. I work to be good at what I do. I wish I was as smart as my kids in my class. They don't believe me. I'm not smart. I mean, I did real well in my math SAT, but not my verbal. I didn't start reading till the 7th grade, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I just recently finished a 275 page dissertation.
Oh, good for you.
And I try to tell them that they can't believe me. I said, guys, I'm telling you, I didn't.
That's amazing.
I didn't read
What
till I
is
went
it
to
on,
public school.
Coach?
Student test anxiety.
Nice.
And this was pre-COVID. Now it's worse.
Yeah.
100%.
We got to get you back on for that because I want to really delve into that.
What, COVID?
Well,
teaching?
teaching the test anxiety. We can do COVID too, but we'll do the test anxiety.
Listen, I'm just getting over playing. We don't have anxiety on my golf team. That's one thing.
Yeah.
We just played like crap the last 2 days.
Right.
The last 2 tournaments. I don't know what it is. It's unexplainable. But that's not anxiety. But test anxiety, teaching, oh boy.
Yeah.
Those kids, all they care about is what the outcome is.
Right.
Or what it's going to be. And I try to tell this to them. They don't want to listen. All they care about is their parents going on Genesis and looking. I hate that thing, that the parents can see their grades. And if they get a bad grade, you know what? They're getting a text during school, and their rest of the day is shot.
Yeah.
I think that's so unfair. Mm-hmm. We always had to wait till we got home.
Right.
You
Or hide the mail.
Or hide the mail. That's what I was going to say, yeah.
Listen, I didn't have to hide the mail, and my mom was working too much to even look at my grades.
Yeah.
So it was all on me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But for these kids, like it's like Google. If they don't know it in an instant, like Google give you the answer to your question in a second.
Yeah.
But how are you supposed to? You're not filtering through things. You don't have that capacity yet. You're 14 and 15 years old. You got to listen.
Right.
But they're looking for the answer because they want the outcome to be what they want it to be instead of working for it to be what they want it. Like instead of controlling it, because you do control the outcome of what you want.
It's more about the journey than destination, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't get it. Like they don't. I don't know. I don't know with the new kids today, and social media like this we were talking about. I don't know. It's scary a little bit because identity is by social media. That's not my identity, believe me.
Right.
We're getting a little taste of it tonight, but no.
Well, listen, when you guys win, and you win big, which I'm sure you're going to do, we got to have you back, talk more golf, talk more about test anxiety, your dissertation, all that stuff. But I think I could speak for both of us. It was a pleasure having you on.
Yeah,
thanks. It was great seeing you.
Yeah,
I mean, I wish we could do it for another hour. I think this is our longest show.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I could listen.
Now keep going.
If you talk to people in Wall, they're going. If you talk to Stefanski, he'll just keep going. I do have a stoppage. When there's people that talk more than me, you're in big trouble. I just recently started dating this woman. I really honestly think I found somebody here. She loves talk. We sit down and talk, and I just listen. And I'm like, this is nice. I can just listen to her instead of me. And that's what she said. It's nice to talk to a man that talks.
Right.
So I have to get for Gab, brother.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's awesome.
We love it. You are a man that talks. We appreciate it, Coach.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach Matt
Appreciate
Stefanski, Wall golf coach, varsity, doing big things, and we wish them a great rest of their year. You got anything, Coach?
Yeah, just have a happy Easter, everybody.
Yeah, happy Easter.
Tomorrow, come out to Manasquan Recreation. I may or may not be the Easter Bunny tomorrow to raise some funds. Please come out and make a donation to Jillian Ludwig's
absolutely.
GoFundMe. And with that,
Can we get information on the
it's all on Manasquan Rec.
Manasquan Rec?
So 6 o'clock at the Vic Caboo Memorial Field.
Okay.
That's all I got. Do the right thing.
Do the right thing. Happy Easter, everybody. Good night and good luck. We'll see you next week.